Assalamualaikum to Madam Hazlin Hassan. My name is MAISARAH binti SULAIMAN from BA1185D. Today I would like to present about defamation case that our group has chosen. What is defamation? Defamation is the publication of a statement which affects a person's reputation that tends to lower him in the estimation of right-thinking members of society by generally making him shunned. The case that had been chosen by us was businessman Loh Muifa, who filed a defamation suit against English Daily Star publication Malaysia Berhad, editor-in-chief of the publication Dr. T. Selvakumar, and journalist Teh Eng Hock over an article that published in February 2013 titled Judges Must Read Submissions. The businessman Loh Muifa was awarded 150,000 ringgit Malaysia by High Court in Kuala Lumpur. Judge Datuk Yoh Wee Siam handed down her pronouncement in front of English Daily counsel Bak Singh and Law's counsel Emerick Singh Sidhu. The pair was ordered to pay Law 15,000 ringgit Malaysia for expenses and interest of 5%. Law claimed that Selvakumar and Teh Eng Hock had defamed him back in 29 July 2013, implicit that Law was interested in manipulating court proceedings in order to benefit him. They also stated that the article had been written on the grounds of a qualified right, and that publishing was without malice and entitlement. What is qualified right? Qualified right is human right, but states can lawfully interfere in certain circumstances in pursuit of legitimate aim or to uphold other democratic principles or other rights. For instance, freedom of expressions. We can see clearly that this defamation case was related to our syllabus. The type of defamation was libel, and also it was related to elements of defamation.
Assalamualaikum, I am ILYANI from BA1185D. So I will present about the highlight of the issue, and the issue for this case is Loh Muifa filed a defamation suit against the English Daily Star publications Malaysia Berhad, Dr. T. Selvakumar and Teh Eng Hock. The case started because of the defendants published an article which entitled Judges Must Read Submissions on 6 February 2013, and it was published in English Daily Star newspaper. It became an issue because Loh Muifa claimed that the article was referring to him, and the article was indicating that he was engaged in fixing court cases to favor him. Loh Muifa said that the article was defamatory to him. That means that the article was not true, and Loh Muifa decided to file a defamation suit against the three defendants to obtain the truth. Okay, next, the court decision. The court that was involved in making decision was the High Court, and the jurisdiction for the High Court is original, appellate, and supervisory, and also the court has unlimited criminal and civil powers. From this case, the High Court orders the defendants to pay 150,000 ringgit in damage to the plaintiff for the defamation suit case that he was filed. And one of the judges that was involved in this case was Datuk Yoh Wee Siam. However, Loh Muifa had claimed the second and third defendant, and it was allowed by the court, and they had to pay the plaintiff 15,000 ringgit with 5% of interest from the date the suit was filed. And the claim for the first defendant was dismissed because the judge says that Dr. T. Selvakumar was not responsible for the article, so Loh Muifa had to pay 15,000 ringgit to the first defendant.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SYAHIRAH binti Abu TALHAH from Bulletin TV3 reported the defamation case between Loh Muifa and Dr. T. Selvakumar Tirunabukarasu, English Daily Star Publication Malaysia, and Teh Eng Hock. This case is hotly debated in social media because it is involved between the well-known businessman and the famous The Star Publication Malaysia. First of all, I will introduce the detail who is the plaintiff of this case. Plaintiff is the person that bring a court case or in whose name it is brought, opposed to the defendant, which the party who is being sued. In this case, the plaintiff, Loh Muifah, 65 years old, who is the famous businessman in Malaysia. He is also a father of Malaysian politician Loh Governor, the member of Malaysian Parliament for Kelana Jaya Selangor. Because of the plaintiff, Loh Muifah is an affluent person, he feeling so embarrassed and insulted that made him file a defamation suit against 3 defendants of English Daily Star Publication Malaysia Berhad over a defamation article that have been published. Next is I will introduce the defendant that involved in this case. Defendant is a person against whom the action is taken by the plaintiff or a person accused by doing something wrong in legal case. In this case, there are 3 defendants, which is Dr. T. Selvakumar Tirunabukarasu, English Daily Star Publication Malaysia, and Teh Eng Hock. The first defendant, who is Dr. T. Selvakumar, is an editor-in-chief of the publication. He was born on 30 July 1959 at Port Klang, Selangor. Dr. T. Selvakumar is an Hinduism and he has an award-winning author, columnist, international speaker and Vastu Sastra celebrity on radio and television. He graduated from the University of South Australia in Master of Art Communication Management, and he also received his Honorary Doctor of Oriental Learning PhD from Human Resource Minister Datuk Dr. S. Subramaniam in Malaysia. In February 1980, Dr. T. Selvakumar joined the Star and was sent to become staff correspondent for the newspaper in Klang. Next, the second defendant is English Daily Star Publication Malaysia Berhad. As we know, the Star is an English language newspaper in Malaysia. The daily newspaper was first published as a Penang-based regional newspaper on 9 September 1971. According to the Audit Bureau of Circulation, it is one of Malaysia's largest paying English newspaper in terms of circulation. Last, the third defendant, who is Teh Eng Hock, is a news journalist at the English Daily Star Publication Malaysia Berhad. His passion as a journalism began in the Star Young Journalist program at the age of 16 and had been a freelancer for the newspaper. Then he joined them as a full-time employee at age 22. Teh Eng Hock graduated from the Murdoch University, Australia with a Bachelor of Art degree, Mass Media Communication and Culture Study. Teh Eng Hock being as a newspaper chief of the Selangor Bureau from March 2011 to September 2013. At there, he managing the editorial team, including assigning tasks to the reporter and photographer. So, these are the 3 details of defendant that involved in this defamation case.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Natasha binti Muhammad NORHISHAM. I'm from BA 1185D. The ways of defamatory being used statement for Loh Muifah is writing. Writing means publishing untrue statement by writing it down or printing on a surface by producing words, letters or numbers that give necessary information or meaning. Based on this case, we can see the plaintiff was an eminent businessman in Malaysia and other parts of Asia, while the first defendant was the chief news editor of the second defendant. A Malaysian daily newspaper, The Star. Third defendant was a journalist employed by the second defendant. He prepared and wrote a section of the news article, and it was appearing in the Star entitled Judges Must Read Submission. Defendant published the words which were defamation of the plaintiff in the article. The plaintiff claimed that the words in the section of the article written by the third defendant were a libelous publication that are defamatory to plaintiff. In this claim, the plaintiff claimed for general damage, aggravate and exemplary damage against the defendant for libel and interest and costs. The article were defamatory of the plaintiff. The words complain or refer to a 2-minute clip. The court confirmed that the plaintiff is Loh Muifa in the video recording. After read in the context of the article and read together with transcript of the video recording, the court proved that the words complain or refer to the plaintiff and not to any other person.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aisyah binti Nur AZMY from class BA 1185D. I will present type of defamations. Defamation is a statement that can damage the reputations of other individual or parties. Defamation occurs when someone makes a statement to someone else with a false statement that causes bad reputations to the other person. Refer to the title article that has been selected by our group is Star Newspaper Loose Defamation Suit, and the types of defamation in this case is libel. Libel case is defamatory statement through writing, picture or some other permanent form such as broadcasting of word by radio or televisions. This statement can come through major media outlets such as a newspaper or magazine. 3 defendants, Dr. Selvakumar, the newspaper and the journalist wrote an article in the Start entitled Judge Must Read Submissions published on 9 February 2013. Loh Muifa claimed that in the article, the defendant published words that were defamatory of the plaintiff. The defamatory statement represents permanent form in newspaper.